Hi Gemini, welcome to your July 2022 Taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Gemini, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is also just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So I'm going to pop these out of the way for a minute. We're going to start with your actions and options in the world at large. So remember, I always shuffle my decks before I get on camera, but I like to do it again in front of everybody so that they know I haven't stacked the deck. For your actions and options, you have the Lovers card. This is about you making a solid, firm choice. This is about you being ready to stick in for something. And also, even though we are now fully in Cancer season, this is your card, which means that this month you truly show up as yourself. Not only do you show up in a position of power and strength, but this is you really putting yourself first. It's, yes, you're doing all the usual Geminian things of deliberating and, sifting through information and, looking at the options. But it's like this month, the option that you choose, the option that you go for is you. This is about you being very focused on yourself. And it's also about you finding that true, deep, inner, authentic voice and, sharing that with the world. The other thing is as well, this could be about love, relationships for sure. It's totally possible. There are other cards that I prefer for love, if I'm completely honest with you, but I kind of feel for those of you that are open to it, this Lovers card maybe suggests that now you are exuding more of who you feel you really are. You feel like you're in a much better position to attract the kind of love that you're looking for. If you're already in a partnership, this is about you, not saying, oh, screw my partner, be damned with them, like what I want goes, but this is about you being more self-centered. And, sometimes that we need to normalize that in relationships. I'm sorry. I don't agree with who he is as a person or necessarily everything about their marriage. But one thing that I did rate Will Smith for was being able to say, be responsible for your own happiness, whether you're in a relationship or not. You seek to get what you need out of the relationship and then find a way to communicate that with your partner. You are Geminis, right? So this is you putting yourself first this month, and I absolutely love it. I'm here for it. For your communications and conversations, you have the Page of Cups. So in a lot of ways, this is going to be a very powerfully creative month for a lot of you. There's going to be a lot of ideas. There's going to be a lot of creative expression. This coupled with the Lovers card suggests that there could be new love that comes in this month. And if there is new love that comes in this month, this will probably see you going through the process of deciding whether this partnership is or isn't for you. But you'll be making this decision lightning quick. Like in typical Gemini fashion, you'll be like either yes, I'm totally in, or no, I'm totally out. There's not going to be any room for kind of, ambi or, anything like that. You won't be ambivalent about it. You will know 100% like, yes, there's potential here. And you'll know if that's the case because you'll feel it. The Page of Cups is very intuitive. And so your communications and conversations this month, they take on a more kind of intuitive feel. And this could be great because if you're chucking ideas around with people or you're talking about things that you want to do, which is very possible, you could have some really amazing insights through conversations that you're having with people. But like I said, this month, let your creative energy out. Let it shine this month because there's some really good results that come from it if you do. I will also say for those of you that are looking to have children and or conceive, this is very much a possibility. But the weird thing is I don't see this being the actual children. I see this being like the conversations, like, do we want kids? Do we want more kids? All of that stuff. For your heart and hearth and your love and relations, you've got the 8 of Cups. So for some of you, this is getting over or out of a funk that you might have been in when it comes to relationships. Remember, this card has an element of walking away or leaving something behind, and for me, that almost suggests that, you know, if you're single and you're in a, you know, you've been in a relationship relatively recently, this is you finding a way to get over that, where you're almost kind of like taking the wisdom but finding a way to move on. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, doesn't mean you're all suddenly going to up sticks and walk out on your partner. It does suggest, though, that you're being very honest about how you feel in the relationship and where it either does or doesn't offer you the support that you need. And this is what I mean. Like, it's like this month you're choosing yourself. It's like, okay, you know what? We're in a partnership, we're in a relationship. I love you, you love me, but I'm not fulfilled in this way. And this is what I'm going to do about it. And then off goes your wonderful creative brain in order to make that a possibility. For those of you that are single, there was a potential. There's someone coming in this month. And like I say, I just feel you will know lightning quick whether you are or are not interested. But when they show up, I wouldn't be surprised if you're kind of like, no, not interested. And then, you know, like within a few hours, you're like, oh, actually. So that could be good. For your money and materials, you have the Chariot card. So I love this for all. So you see there, it says the Lord of the Triumph of Light. This is sometimes the best triumphs that we have are over aspects of self. And so when it comes to your money, your resources, your finances, especially because you've got the Page of Cups here, so these two together literally represent Cancer season, which we're in now. If you are an ascendant Gemini to a lesser degree, but still relevant, the sun and the moon, Gemini, Cancer, should I say, is your second house. This is where you make your money. It's how you do your, you know, where your savings go and come from, the things that you truly value, which means that right now, your money, like your finances, your resources, that is a big draw. This is a big focus point for you at the moment. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? I actually think that's great. I think this could be you getting really real with yourself about what you're spending your money on, where it is or isn't going to best use or effect. The other thing is as well, for those of you that have investments, whether this is, you know, anything from crypto right through to property, whatever you've invested your money in, you're likely to see some sort of short-term return this month. Now, there's two ways that you can approach that. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't give you that kind of advice, but I will say whatever profits come, they are likely to be short-lived. The Chariot card, while it is a card of victory and success, and it absolutely is, it's quite a fast card. And so it usually suggests that you don't have... that it's quick. Whatever it is that comes, it's relatively fleeting. It's kind of like, yes, this is a success. What's next? So I like it. I just, like I said, I don't put all your eggs in that one basket. If you're trying to get paperwork to get a home, a mortgage, to get funding for something or whatever, the money that you need is there. It's available to you. I've got no problems with it, and I have no hold-ups or hang-ups around or with it. So this could be great. So your jumping card is the Hanged Man. So your first week of the month, you've got the Hanged Man here with the Lover's card. There may be a part of you that feels somewhat guilty about really sort of deciding to put yourself first. You've got to find a way to deal with that voice. This is going to be a powerfully, very creative month for you. Also, I want you to look back to Pisces season of 2022. So what was happening for you late February, sort of like the 20th of February, right through to the 19th of March? What was happening for you at that point around how you felt about yourself, about how others kind of saw you or were not fulfilling you? What was going on in that time? Because if you can figure that out, you'll understand the theme that you're going to be experiencing this month. For your second week of the month, you've got the World card. So that's a big card, right? And usually this is big successes. This is big, elevations, big steps forward in some way. And what I like about it with the Page of Cups, it's like one of your ideas, you might just think it's commonplace, but one of your ideas is massive. It has the potential to be really big or to have like a global impact. And I don't say that lightly. I will say this might be a time where you're looking for a new sense of community and or tribe, or looking for new places just to have new hobbies, you know, places that you can interact with and connect to people of like mind. So that could be a really good, you know, good shout. For your third week of the month, you've got the High Priestess. So this is hidden things revealed. So I'm going to call it at this. For those of you that are, like I said, single or you know, for those of you that are single and maybe looking, the High Priestess with the 8 of Cups, this may be where some of your emotions are not yet fully processed. And so this is, but the interesting thing is, like I said, with you will know instantly. Whoever this new person is that come in, you will know straight away whether you are or are not invested in pursuing that with them. And with the High Priestess there, your intuition is on point. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, this could be a time where maybe you sharing how you actually feel with your significant other and saying, look, you know what, maybe I feel underappreciated. Maybe I feel like I'm not able to pursue my own goals, my own dreams, or whatever. It's like whatever you're sharing, it only makes things better, but it's not going to be easy, because it's almost like this, your significant other doesn't see how you actually feel about something, which, you know. For your fourth week of the month, you have the Empress card. So your investments come good. Your resources are, your finances are looking tasty this month, I gotta say. And, you know, for those of you that are going after new endeavors or investing in new things, and also investments that you've already put in, the money that you need is available to you. The other thing I like about this as well, some of you might be working on almost like not tightening your belt, but certainly looking at your resources and asking, okay, where can I improve this? Where can I make things, you know, even better than they are already? For your new moon and full moons, the new moon is on July 28th. That is in the sign of Leo. For you, this is happening in your third house. This is all to do with communication on a day-to-day level. Third house is very Geminian in some of its themes, but it isn't the sign of Gemini. But yeah, third house is communications, it's everyday communications, it's skills, it's websites, it's the digital world, because the digital world is so commonplace now that it's the realm of the third house. And so this new moon in that space could mean that you're finding new ways to communicate with your audience, maybe new skills. For some of you, you're gaining new skills at the job that you have. Maybe new responsibilities are coming in. Remember, it is just a new moon, so it's just the start of it. It's just the inception. It's not the full throttle as yet. For this, you have the Gate 23 and Assimilate. I love this card because to me it always says dream big and move and act as if it's going to become real, because the castle inside the globe represents the dream or the fantasy. And that assimilate energy is about pulling that out of the glass orb and into the real world. So this new moon could really show you, by getting a new skill, by rebranding yourself, or sharing something more about what you're doing or the way that you're doing it or what makes it special, could really be great. Especially if you're hitting your local area or interacting with people from your local area. Maybe use those people as your guinea pigs in some way. For your full moon, the full moon for you is happening in your 8th house. An 8th house full moon is very psychic. This is happening on the 13th of July. It's a very psychic moon. It is a very spiritual and possibly occult moon. So this would be a really good time if you want something really deep sort of revealed to you. Have an astrology reading, a tarot reading, you know, human design, whatever, you know, numerology, whatever science, spiritual science you decide to go for. Have it around either the day before, the day of, or the day after the full moon, because the full moon is shining a light into what's hidden, into your deep psychological self. And so you could have some really powerful insights or realizations at that time. An 8th house full moon is always very, very potent. and you've got the gate 17 and opinions. So this is going to be a time where that full moon is going to make you quite sensitive. And so the full moon makes everyone sensitive, but this one's in your 8th house. So this could be somebody expresses what they think is an off the cuff opinion, and it, absolutely, shatters a thought or a dream or a hope that you had. Be really gentle with yourself around that time. And if anyone's giving you any, stuff that kind of makes you doubt yourself, give them the finger. Excuse my language and my potty mouth ways, but yeah, that full moon, protect yourself, let people voice their opinions. Absolutely. Interesting that you're having an 8th house full moon as well, and it's the gate 17. 1 and 7 gives you 8, and interestingly enough, the number 17 is a karmic number. Numerologically, the number 17 is a karmic number, so this could be the closing out of a cycle of karma that has maybe held you back, or it could be a time of revelation, but it's like, watch out for wherever the opinions come from, because that's going to reveal to you where your, not weak spots are, but where your vulnerabilities may be. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic month. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.